A year ago, a dark rift opened, swallowing light and spewing hordes of fiend souls like a punitive black tide. They rampaged madly, plunging the mortal realm into chaos as people fled through fiery carnage. 10 supreme existences of the heavens witnessed the tragedy. Hearts twisting in anguish, they descended together, bringing overwhelming divine might to ignite an apocalyptic battle. All things were crushed, heavens overturned, the anomaly quelled, but the true gods fell wounded and retreated in despair. Before they could recover, Black Kai ambushed them, clinging like an unseen curse. On the brink of death, with spirit fading, Kanjiang triggered the life-severing secret art Desolate Soul. Using his final thought, he broke the siege and escaped annihilation, thanks to a strand of protective wool left by Long Dinglan. His spirit light was not fully extinguished. His soul drifted across boundless realms, awaiting a rare chance of reincarnation. At the same time, the Tat residence sank into a cold, ashen gloom. White mourning cloths and drooping funeral flowers filled the place as icy winds wailed. In the central courtyard, a dark coffin sat amid fake cries and whispered accusations that Tat Piao was slain by Tat Yun. He knelt before the coffin, forcing out wails while venomously blaming the weak victim for dying. Relatives sneered, citing the law of the strong Tat Yun. A genius, could crush trash without question. At that moment, Zenwa's soul streaked like lightning in the cold coffin. The corpse's eyes snapped open, blazing with rebirth. He reeled, realizing he had not been soul-destroyed. Agonizing pain tore through his mind like steel needles. As he shut his eyes, alien memories surged over him like a raging tide. His ears rang with insults about a youth named Tat Piao, a weakling barred from cultivation. They mocked his mediocre lineage, claiming waste could birth only uselessness in a noble clan. He was called young master in name only, ranking below servants. Even meeting Tat Yun's gaze was punishable. He survived only by sharing the Tat surname. His existence was deemed a waste of resources and precious pills on the incompetent. To them, his death was his sole contribution. Zhenwu understood these memories belonged to the body he now inhabited. The realization shocked him. He was horrified to find himself lying inside a coffin. Outside, Tat Yun kept wailing madly, performing while praising himself. He shamelessly offered farewell words, boasting about his accidental punch. Suddenly, the coffin lid shook violently. A deep boom sounded like thunder. The lid blasted upward, smashing into Tat Yun's face. He screamed, fell, and bled profusely. Zhenwu rose, smirking coldly as he rejected the fake apology. The family paled in terror, unable to believe the dead had revived. They feared he had become a vengeful ghost, but his shadow disproved it. Tat Yun's eyes bulged, spirit trembling as the one he killed returned. He panicked that the truth of his murder would spread. His killing intent flared. He vowed to personally end the revived victim. His fire fist gathered into raging flames, erupting forward like a volcanic blast. Zhenwu merely tilted aside, letting the attack miss in vain. Tat Yun was horrified, unable to understand how the opponent dodged. Zhenwu stared at him with eyes cold as blades. He reminded that this body was weak, but his soul had once commanded the gods. His hand seized Tat Yun's head, forcing him to kneel effortlessly. Just then, third uncle appeared, angrily accusing him of daring to strike. Zhenwu sneered, saying he had no time to secretly learn martial arts. Tat Yun was simply too weak to withstand any impact. Third uncle raged and cast fire arts, forming a fierce flame wolf. The fiery apparition lunged in to burn Zhenwu's body apart. The blow knocked him down, blood spilling from his lips. In pain, he bitterly realized had lost all spirit power and beast packs, now weaker than a mere level 15 cultivator. Third uncle gloated that he should obediently await death. As the coffin already had a new owner, Tat Yun chimed in cruelly, saying a quick death was too kind, while third uncle vowed his poison claw would slowly kill him under the blazing sun. He forbade anyone from helping, calling any aid an act of treason. The sun dumped brutal heat like fiery arrows piercing skin. Zhenwu lay still, but his will sneered. Lame in this reborn body's crippling defects, all supreme arts he once mastered were useless before these ruined meridians. Only the Devar Heaven and Earth manual remained as his sole possible escape. Though perilous, it was the only path to hunt the assassin of his past life. As he operated the ancient manual, black clouds gathered and the heavens twisted as if welcoming a god's return. Thunderous rain hammered him, spirit energy surging like torrents to shatter and rebirth his meridians. Turning a crippled body into a defiant seed of life, his eyes opened like twin skyrending blades, piercing even the cloud layers. The invisible devouring heaven formation formed, raising a radiant pillar that shook the entire estate like doomsday. Elders in the main hall jolted up in panic. The patriarch's beard and hair trembled as he sensed an aura like a hidden powerhouse. Third uncle sweated coldly, denying it and insisting it was an illusion. The patriarch shifted topics, mentioning the upcoming grand celebration and the chance to ally with Jiuxan and his daughter. Third uncle quickly agreed, praising Jiuxan's unrivaled artifact crafting skills as the Tat clan's salvation. The patriarch pondered, then laughed, admitting the idea but undecided on who would bear the duty. Third uncle immediately nominated Tat Yun, touting him as the brightest talent of the young generation. The patriarch pleasantly approved, urging strict training so Tat Yun wouldn't miss the opportunity. In the training yard, disciples mocked how Yunj was humiliated by a punch from a cripple. Seeing Zhenwu, they birthed killing intent, wanting to slay him for merit. Zhenwu sat calmly in the rain, spirit energy swirling like tides. A fist shot toward him like lightning. He opened his eyes and counterpunched gently. The attacker was flung away like a cut string, smashing into a stone wall before collapsing. Jinwoo rose, coldly declaring he would let them taste the might of the Heaven-Earth Manual. The rest turned pale with fear. Two others unleashed spirit fists forming roaring serpent shadows, but with two lightning-sharp kicks. He sent both flying like sandbags. He scornfully said their crude spirit arts were unworthy of display. He activated a flickering formation. Incantations rang out, blending with the rain into a mystical cadence. Two streams of true ki pierced their chests, leaving them gasping on the ground. The last one trembled so hard his limbs went numb. Panicking, he smashed his own head against a tree. Blood gushing, he died on the spot, leaving Jinwoo sighing at the Tak clan's weakness. He gazed at the sky, reviewing the realm system of spirit cultivation. He found himself only restored to level 15, countless leagues from his peak. He resolved to focus on recovering cultivation first. At dawn, third uncle came to collect corpses but found 3 disciples sprawled out in a great tree cleaved. Horrified, he shouted, demanding news of Tapaya's body. A survivor trembled as he recounted how they were all beaten down. Third uncle stormed off to report to the patriarch. The elder pondered the broken trunk. He concluded wind and rain could never snap such an ancient tree. He reasoned keeping Tapiao might be useful as spare laborer at least. Third uncle gnashed his teeth, vowing Tapiao would never live in peace. On the road leaving the Tat estate, Jinwoo's steps drew murmurs and stares. He stopped by the city's largest pawnshop, placing an exquisite jade hairpin on the counter to ask its price. The owner glanced at it and feigned indifference, offering 520 taels with greedy eyes. Jinwoo bristled. It was his mother's keepsake, but the owner threatened to throw him out if he didn't sell. He accepted the paltry price, planning to redeem it a month later. The owner handed a banknote, grinning slyly as he boasted of the shop's reputation. Once Jinwoo left, the owner smirked triumphantly, thinking he had scored a bargain off a Tak clan waist. Just then, a girl with a green parasol entered, her long hair brushing past Jinwoo. Her gentle fragrance sent a strange tremor through him. She pushed the door. Silver bells chimed as she asked about any newly arrived valuables. The owner rushed to flatter her, parading jewels and silks to please Miss Shang. She dismissed each item with a glance, seeing them as trash. Her gaze halted on Jinwoo's jade hairpin. She praised its peerless craft and asked its source. The owner immediately quoted 5,200 taels. She raised a brow, shock and disdain mixing at such a low price. She said it should fetch 30,000 taels to match its true quality. The owner winced as if stabbed but forced a smile. Asking her preferred payment, she said simply to note it under the name Ju Mine of Juiksheim Pavilion, and silver would be delivered. Not far from the shop, Jinwoo sensed someone tailing him and smiled coldly. He judged the stalker likely from Tat Dao and planned to use him for a larger scheme. The bustling market flowed like a river, vendor cries echoing on both sides. The tavern waiter brightened at a new customer, eagerly offering fresh cheese pizza. Jinwoo waved dismissively, ordering all the best dishes. Missing even one would cost the shop dearly. The waiter led him to the 3rd floor. The stalker hid afar in contempt, thinking Jinwoo only knew how to indulge, then ran to report to Tat Dao. Watching the figure vanish, Jinwoo smiled darkly, sparing him for the next step. Biting in a hot pizza, he was surprised by the rich flavor rarely found in the mortal realm. After eating, he donned a black cloak and silver mask to conceal his identity. Fully disguised, even he barely recognized his reflection. He entered the Violet Gold Pill Pavilion, bustling with buyers amid potent herbal scents. At the counter, he requested the finest furnace, seeing only a 520 tael note. The shopkeeper sneered and drove him away. Onlookers mocked him as too poor to refine pills, but Jinwoo calmly asked if they understood alchemy's essence. He said true alchemists turn trash into treasure, not rely on luxury furnaces. The shopkeeper roared angrily, boasting his fame for crafting second-grade Violet Gold pills. Jinwoo sneered, calling second-grade far too mediocre. Making the owner flush and roar, he proposed a wager with 50 taels he would refine a perfect Violet Gold pill win. And he takes a first-grade furnace lose, and he gives all 520 taels. The owner burst out laughing, mocking that ingredients alone cost more than the boy owned. Jinwoo calmly insisted he needed exactly 50 taels. The owner slammed the table, accepting the bet, even promising the whole shop if Jinwoo succeeded. Jinwoo recited 3 herbs by name, each measured precisely by the fen. A silver tray was quickly brought. The owner snickered, believing the items unrelated to Violet Gold pills. Jinwoo carried the tray into a private alchemy room. The door shut with his cold warning that intruders would die. An hour passed in silence outside. The owner mocked and tried to provoke him. Suddenly the door screeched open. Jinwoo opened a jade box under the shop's tense gaze. A surge of fragrant spirit energy burst out, revealing a flawless, glowing pill warm as if fresh from the furnace. The owner nearly collapsed, horrified as he admitted it was a perfect top-grade Violet Gold pill. Customers buzzed that the wager would destroy the shop's reputation. Zhenwu asked if he still dared deny defeat. The owner instantly bowed and begged forgiveness. Zhenwu waved him off, saying he only wanted the promised furnace. The owner fetched a third-grade Suixin Ding furnace, offering it reverently. He also added a chest of precious herbs stored for 10 years, plus a promise of 30 discounts on future visits. The waiter grumbled over the heavy loss, but the owner retorted darkly that he understood nothing. He said the youth possessed an uncanny command over resonance, so today's kindness would yield greater profit, earning admiration from the maid. By third watch they reached their manor, frost chilling the silent roofs. The stalker knelt to report the target only indulged himself after selling the hairpin, prompting Tat Dao's scorn in order to keep watching. Tat Yun fumed, ashamed he once lost to that weakling, while his father mocked his unchanging nature. Tat Dao claimed the loss was as a flumsome trick. With higher cultivation he could command the boy at will. He produced a first-grade blue gold pill for Tat Yun to raise cultivation before the birthday feast, disappointing him since it wasn't violet gold. Tat Dao raged, calling him delusional and threatening to break his legs if he embarrassed the clan, making Tat Yun tremble assent. Night deepened, wind howling through desolate halls. In a small room, Zhenwu swallowed the violet gold pill, spirit power surging and healing him instantly. He marveled at its wonder as strength renewed through his body. Yet using such pills continuously weakens their effect, so he must combine various types to stay balanced. Opening a jade chest, he found rare spirit materials enough to craft many useful pills thanks to the owner's generosity. Hunger gnawed, reminding him cultivation drained stamina. He recalled the morning pizza and wondered if the manor's kitchen had the ingredients. Zhenwu left his room, following the dark corridor toward the rear kitchen. As he opened the door, chaotic noise crashed out. Inside, he saw Jumine chasing a fat rooster, sending the flock into a frenzy. The rooster suddenly charged her like mad. She screamed in panic, unable to dodge, as Zhenwu casually picked up chopsticks from the table and flicked them. They shot forward, pinning the rooster's neck and dropping it instantly. He smiled, teasing that she was pretty but couldn't even catch a chicken. Jumine blushed and fumbled, nearly revealing her identity before silencing herself. Zhenwu smiled, eyeing her from head to toe with easy scrutiny. She panicked, thinking only of hiding her status as the noble daughter of Juxian Pavilion. She excused herself as new to work and hungry at night, but Zhenwu waved generously, telling her to sit while he cooked. He entered the kitchen, moving with the skill of a seasoned chef. The hot pan sizzled lively. Soon 4 fragrant dishes appeared: chicken with mushrooms, glossy braised pork, bold greens with fish sauce, and sweet melon soup. Jumine was stunned, assuming he was Tat Clan's head chef. Tasting them, she was moved by flavors surpassing any delicacy Shed had, making Zhenwu note and question her identity. She lied that she had worked at Wanxianlo and eaten many fine dishes. Full and drowsy, she rested her head on Zhenwu's shoulder and fell asleep. He meant to take her back when footsteps approached. Jumine jolted awake, whispering that she must return or face her father's scolding. Then Juming's stern voice sounded, chilling her spine. He sighed that his noble daughter had sneaked down for a midnight meal. He said her cultivation art drained stamina, and after the birthday feast they would leave quickly to avoid trouble. Making her question the Tat clan, he replied that he only had mild acquaintance with them, though their patriarch wished to form ties. Jumine teased her father, bragging her beauty made many seek marriage. He lamented the hassle, saying everything depended on the other party's merit. He pointed out a smear of chicken on her lips and teased her, making her beam and flee into the dim corridor. At dawn, Zhenwu woke in the kitchen, realizing he'd slept there all night. He picked up the luxurious blanket over him, noting it wasn't servant grade. Smiling, he reminded himself to thank the maid who covered him. At first light, 2 servants burst in, barking orders that he must serve at the feast. Zhenwu sat up, his cold gaze freezing the room as he asked a single question that made them quake. They instantly knelt, begging forgiveness and dropping their arrogance. As he strolled out, they exhaled in terror, agreeing he'd changed frighteningly. The birthday hall gleamed as nobles gathered, and Tat Liu solemnly welcomed all, especially father and daughter of Juxian Pavilion. Zhu Ming replied warmly and prompted his daughter to greet the host. Jumine appeared radiant like a fairy, bowing with elegant birthday wishes. Tat Liu praised her beauty and manners, then probed about marriage, forcing Zhu Ming to decline tactfully. The Tat elder proposed an alliance to benefit both clans. Jumine inwardly bristled, cursing his shamelessness. Zhu Ming deflected, saying his daughter was very selective. He added that even the crown prince and many elites had been rejected by her. Tat Liu's face darkened, sensing Zhu Ming belittled the Tat clan's prestige. Zhu Ming was still flustered, unable to reply. Jumine stepped forward, her clear, commanding voice silencing the hall. She declared an oath whoever triggered this spirit artifact's response would be her husband. Unchanging, she raised a small white thunder tripod, causing murmurs because it seemed too ordinary. Tat Liu laughed, saying low-grade artifacts were easy to activate. Jumine solemnly affirmed she would keep her word. Guests burst into excitement, many dreaming of becoming her groom since the item looked easy to trigger. Tat Yun strode out proudly to try first. He even imagined she hinted at choosing him, thus setting this trial. He channeled Kai into the thunder tripod. Only a few fragments fell, the artifact totally inert. Tat Yun froze in disbelief. Tat Dao turned purple with rage, scolding him as he stammered had used full strength. Jumayan calmly concluded he was not the destined one. Half an hour later, hundreds of young lords tried in turn, faces tightening. Yet the thunder tripod stayed inert like dead stone. Jumayan sighed, declaring no one matched its fate. The alliance was off. Just then, a steady voice asked to try, drawing all eyes. Zhenwu, a ligand in white, entered with transcendent poise, silencing the hall. Jumayan stared in shock, thinking he was still a servant. He leaned in, reminding her lightly that both had lied about identity. So they were even. Tat Dao barked to throw him out for making trouble. Zhenwu coldly replied that bearing the Tat surname gave him the right to try. Tat Liao waved permission, thinking if the boy succeeded he'd write his own name backward. Tat Yun stepped up to jeer that he was disgracing the clan. He wagered that failure meant exile from the Tat estate. Success meant Tat Yun would kneel and apologize. Zhenwu accepted without hesitation. He inwardly scoffed that they were blind to this seven-colored divine artifact that opened only by special incantation. In his past identity, he remembered the 3 activation mantras flawlessly. Jumayan tugged his sleeve anxiously. Knowing the tripod was impossible to trigger, Zhenwu faced the tripod calmly, chanting the mantras invoking the 5 elements and yin-yang. Seven-colored divine light erupted. The tripod shook violently and opened, flooding the hall with radiance. Zhenwu stated coolly the artifact had accepted him. He asked whether the young lady would keep her oath. Jumayan, stunned and heart racing, realized he truly was the fated one. The hall went dead silent. Tat Dao turning pale. Tat Yun's legs buckled, nearly collapsing. Tat Liao laughed, urging her to honor her promise. Jumayan inhaled deeply and declared firmly she would. Zhenwu suddenly stopped her, saying he only meant to prove the Tat clan's inferiority, not seek a beauty. Tat Yun, enraged, demanded he was calling trash. Zhenwu returned the jade token, saying he was unworthy of her and only wanted the artifact if they felt ashamed. From above, Juming chuckled, agreeing to dissolve the marriage and gift the artifact to Zhenwu. Tat Liao narrowed his eyes, advising the boy to seize this chance to rise in status. Zhenwu sneered, asserting a true man lets no one dictate his fate, then withdrew from the alliance entirely. Jumayan felt struck by lightning, her heart surging at his boldness. Juming laughed in delight, praising him as reckless like himself in youth. Tat Liao conceded to cancel the betrothal, and Juming replied with polite praise of the Tat clan. Zhenwu wasn't done. He called Tat Yun forward to settle their wager. Tat Yun cursed inwardly, yet he still had to return and bow his head, admitting defeat before the crowd. Zhenwu pretended not to hear, forcing Tat Yun to repeat the apology. Tat Yun screamed out his admission of fault, carving hatred for Tat Piao into his bones. Satisfied, as Zhenwu bowed and withdrew to the servant quarters to rest and prepare for the afternoon, Tat Liao abruptly reinstated Tat Pai's official status, ordering him to receive stipends and begin cultivation training tomorrow. Those who had scorned him turned pale, while Zhenwu only bowed in thanks. Behind them, Tat Dao gnashed his teeth, vowing to eliminate this thorn. Next morning, the luxurious carriage of Ju Xian Pavilion waited at the Tat gate. 2 maids panicked because their young lady had vanished at dawn. Jumayan was actually searching for Zhenwu and found him under an ancient tree. Scolding yet relieved, Zhenwu asked if she wasn't supposed to depart today. Jumayan pouted that he didn't see her off. He said distance was safer since her father was wary. She didn't care and gifted him a jade hairpin as a keepsake for her first true friend. Zhenwu recognized it as the hairpin from the pawnshop. Jumayan smiled, saying the treasure had returned to its owner, but he declined, telling her to keep it and return it next time they met. She teased that to return it he must defeat her first. Zhenwu gladly accepted the challenge. She remembered something else to ask but lightened the mood with a joke instead. She gave him a pill bottle, warning him to stay cautious. The Tat clan was dangerous. He opened it to find a 3rd-grade blood flame pill and was shocked at its immense value. Jumayan blinked playfully, calling herself a generous little heiress. She offered a soft farewell and left. Zhenwu watched the carriage fade, smiling at the pill bottle and his growing fondness for her. Back in his room, he meditated to refine spirit energy and form a bond so the artifact could become his weapon. Spirit artifacts were ranked by 6 basic colors from white to red. Above red was the extremely rare 7-colored tier. Seeing the 7-colored treasure float before him, he worried his cultivation was too weak for it to recognize him. He felt using the blood flame pill now was wasteful and planned to buy herbs to refine his own pills. At the Violet Gold Pill Pavilion, the owner respectfully presented 10 Violet Gold pills prepared for young Lord Xi Ling. Xiling tested one and was shocked by its superior quality. The owner admitted they were refined by a youth whose skill even he admired. Xiling added 3,000 taels in praise. At that moment Zhenwu entered to purchase rare herbs. The owner immediately packed the goods, and Zhenwu took them and left. Xiling watched the silver-masked figure with interest. The owner whispered that this was the youth who refined the 10 pills. Heightening Xiling's curiosity, Xiling stood inside the pavilion, eyes burning with ambition to befriend the hidden genius of Phoenix Province City. Zhenwu slipped out quietly, gliding into a dark alley like a cat. He removed his mask, thinking that now he had footing in the Tat clan he no longer needed to hide. Sensing another tale, he only smirked clearly. Tat Dao's men again? Not worth concern. A crowd gathered around a white-clad girl kneeling with a blood-smeared sign offering to sell herself to bury her father. The people pitied her, murmuring sadly about her plight. Tat Yun spotted her and his eyes gleamed with lust as he pushed through the crowd. Little Lac trembled, begging for 100 taels to bury her father. Willing to serve for life, Tat Yun yanked her arm crudely, offering the 100 taels only for a crude burial before dragging her back as a concubine. Plaza erupts as Zhen Wu appears, mocking Xi-Yun's forced generosity. Xi-Yun blushes and yells at being followed while Zhen Wu feigns innocence, saying he's just buying a servant. He slips a banknote to Xiala, urging her to handle the funeral properly, making her cry in gratitude. Xi-Yun fumes at being outbid, but Zhen Wu coolly says the highest payer wins. He mocks Xi-Yun to save money for his own future funeral. Drawing loud ladder, humiliated, Xi-Yun roars for a fight. He musters full power, aura surging, green fist shadow rises with freezing wind. Lunging at his foe, Zhen Wu scoffs, deeming the move trivial. The heavy punch lands square on his chest. Instantly, a seven-hued glow bursts from his robe. The rebound force flings Xi-Yun far away. He slams into a stone wall and spits blood. Zhen Wu hasn't moved before seeing him collapse, guessing a guardian robe activated. Xi-Yun wipes blood and calls Sai-Tan and Xiaxiao to avenge him. Two retainers draw swords, threatening punishment for striking a clanmate. A white-clad figure drops in front of Zhen Wu, declaring support for the oppressed. Seeing the academy badge on the newcomer, the retainers pale as the crowd murmurs in awe. They tremble while helping Xi-Yun retreat, not daring further trouble. Xiaoli kneels in thanks, blaming her own uselessness. Zhen Wu tells her only strength frees one from oppression. Xi-Ling cheerfully introduces himself, seeking Scorned camaraderie and inviting Zhen Wu to a feast. Zhen Wu agrees, saying he likes his vibe. Xi-Ling asks if Xiaoli will join. She declines due to funeral duties. Wishing them safety, the two wave goodbye. Leaving her watching curiously, Xiaoli grips the banknote, vowing not to stay weak when they meet again. In the rear courtyard, retainers rush Xi-Yun inside, bleeding badly, to report disaster. On the bed, he grits his teeth, demanding Si Piao be killed to vent his spite. Sai Dao gloomily says they can't act now since the head favors him. Baoxuan steps from the shadows, proposing to ruin Si Piao's reputation until is expelled. He coldly claims the plan is perfect if Xi-Yun yields one step. Xi-Yun impatiently urges him to explain. Baoxuan smiles slickly, assuring they won't harm Qin. At Kui Xingyin, Sai Ling orders a lavish meal, telling the keeper to hurry. Amid buttery garlic aromas, he toasts a chance brotherhood with Zhen Wu. Zhen Wu flatly exposes his motive, the 10 vial gold pills. Sai Ling laughs and admits it. Zhen Wu jokes that exposing it early costs him a free meal. Si Ling solemnly invites him to join the academy, praising his rare alchemy talent. Zhen Wu, intrigued, asks more. Sai Ling says the academy trains those capable of shaking the continent. It has 3 institutes: combat, formations, and alchemy beastcraft. The gifted receive full nurturing and limitless resources. Suddenly the wooden door is kicked open. A Cyclone retainer storms in, ordering Zhen Wu back to face judgment. Zhen Wu lifts a brow, guessing Xi-Yun tattled, but the retainer snarls that Xi-Yun is dead by his hand. Zhen Wu laughs coldly, saying the man only fell hardly dead. Xiling rises, asserting he witnessed it. Xi-Yun was gravely hurt, not dying. The retainer growls that they must return to see the corpse laid in the main hall. Half an hour later, everyone gathers as wails echo through the manor. Sai Dao kneels by the corpse, begging the clan head to make Si Piao pay with his life. Zhen Wu coldly cites clan rules, saying he only acted in self-defense when Xi-Yun harassed a girl. Sai Dao accuses him of envy, but Zhen Wu counters that townsfolk saw the sneak attack. Sai Li glances at Sai Ling, who bows respectfully and explains his presence. Si Dao persists, suspecting bias due to respect for the academy. Sai Liu thunders that if guilt is proven, cripple him if not. Si Dao must kneel and apologize. Zhen Wu requests to examine the body and accepts punishment if the man is truly dead. Sai Dao gives a mocking, challenging laugh. Zhen Wu finds the pulse icy and breathless. He takes out a pill, asking permission to administer it for testing. Sai Dao forbids it, claiming to protect the corpse. Zhen Wu mocks him for fearing the dead might revive, making him blanch. Sai Liu orders the pill to be given. Sai Dao lunges to stop them, vowing to risk his life to protect his son. Si Ling steps forward with golden key, saying the academy has records of Finideth arts. The clan head nods consent, and Si Dao trembles but yields. A stream of true ki dries black gas from the 7 orifices of the body. Xi-Yun jerks upright, coughing violently, staring around in panic. The hall freezes as he giggles senselessly like a madman. Sai Ling concludes his heavily brain-damaged and beyond recovery. Xi-Yun babbles a confession about faking death to frame Si Piao, leaving Si Dao ashen. Zhen Wu folds his hands, asking how the clan will judge someone who used dark arts on a clanmate. Sai Li rules that Xi-Yun is already crippled, so spared, but Sai Dao is to be crippled and exiled despite his desperate pleas. True Kai swirls in the clan head's palm, shaking the grand hall. He condemns Sai Dao's greed for bringing ruin upon himself. Sai Dao's eyes redden with rage. Malice surges as he draws a dagger and lunges recklessly. Sai Ling instantly sets a formation, blocking the attack path. The dagger veers aside and slams to the stone wall with a sharp crack. Sai Dao freezes in horror. A force strikes his forehead like a hammer, is flung back, crashing to the floor helplessly. Xinwu silently admires the Academy's precise object control skill. Xian staggers over, steps on his father, and coldly says he now seems truly dead. Sai Li reflects briefly, then thanks Sai Ling for averting disaster. Zhenwu asks permission to make a request. He expresses admiration for Sai Ling's strength. He asks to join the academy to bring honor to the clan. Granted. He departs at once. The horse gallops to the riverbank and gradually halts, breathing hard. It's soothed by Zhenwu's gentle pat. He removes his shirt and hangs it on the horse to cool, then dives into the cool water to dispel the heat. He swims fluidly through the clear stream. Water splashes softly with each motion. Surfacing, he exhales in relief at the refreshing flow. Suddenly he blushes on seeing a girl rise nearby, with hair clinging to her shoulders. They freeze, the air instantly awkward. Zhenwu bows in embarrassment while she glares, face flushed with anger. He pretends to be blind to escape the awkward scene. She quietly dresses, hoping the matter passes peacefully. Zhenwu inwardly rejoices that his blind act worked. Suddenly she turns back, radiating killing intent. Her icy gaze signals an oncoming strike meant to teach him a lesson. Zhenwu panics inside, knowing he's in serious trouble. Her whip lashes down at terrifying speed, ripping through the air. Sensing its power, he pours all strength into dodging. She mocks his evasion, while he politely explains to spare her embarrassment. Longha declares her body inviolable. He yields. Acting defeated, she smiles slightly, plotting how to punish his rudeness. Zhenwu warns her he won't tolerate unreasonable bullying. Longha points her whip, challenging him to show his real skill. Zhenwu shifts into high alert. She frowns, taking stance to counter any trickery. Unexpectedly, he turns and runs, choosing escape as best strategy. She chases, whip slashing with killing intent. Running, Zhenwu taunts that he only took a quick glance. He even says her figure is nothing special. The insult makes her tremble with rage. In her fury, she falls into his trap and ends up hanging upside down from a tree. Zhenwu boasts that his quick wit caught her. He advises her to calm down and stop causing trouble, then moves to leave. A sudden noise behind makes him whirl around. The tree she hangs from erupts into flames, smoke billowing. Longha growls that he has utterly enraged her. Blazing heat bursts from her, forming a fearsome attack aura. Flames coil around her, revealing a powerful fire lineage blood force as heat surges. But she suddenly backlashes and coughs blood. She collapses to the grass, breath ragged. Zhenwu freezes, suspecting Shi's acting, and prepares to check. He finds she forced her fire power while mentally unstable, causing dangerous Kai deviation. Night falls as he stops at a decayed shrine. He carries Longha inside and channels Kai to heal her in silence. Reversed fire energy makes her grimace in pain. Zhenwu senses a strange fire source within her unlike innate power. Moonlight drapes the old shrine with somber calm. He persists though drenched in sweat. Knowing quitting means her death, the fire aura heats the shrine like a furnace. He sets a formation and chants to guide absorption. Flames engulf her body, lifting her from the floor. Fire roars fiercer, nearly uncontrollable. Heat spikes, twisting airflow, and he doubts he can withstand it. The seven-color monkey artifact suddenly opens, absorbing the raging fire. Zhenwu is shocked yet thrilled at its spontaneous activation. It swells, tirelessly drawing in the red flames as he begs it to keep absorbing. Thunder rolls across the shrine roof. Rain pours outside as he weakens but still guides the fire out of her body. Each raindrop hisses against the fire on his hands with strange sound. At dawn, sunlight slips through the rotten window bringing warm relief. Longha wakes, squinting at the brightness. Feeling miraculously renewed, she jolts and clutches her clothes, fearing what he might have done while she was unconscious. Enraged, she rushes out shouting to find Zhenwu for revenge. Aura bristling with killing intent. She freezes at the sight before her. The once-a-green forest is now only charred stumps. Zhenwu is equally baffled. He stands naked among the ashes, stretching and complaining of exhaustion after last night's drain. Seeing Longha, Zhenwu waves casually with a big grin. She hurls a huge log at his face, yelling for him to put on clothes. Dressed in a hurry, he complains about her treating her savior poorly. She retorts she never asked for saving and he took liberties. He explains removing clothes was to draw out the rogue fire. He asks about the violent flame inside her. She grows solemn and recounts her past. Her fire spirit Q is both gift and curse, burning her from birth and leaving her shunned in constant pain. Rumors claim she was dim and tainted, scorching anyone near, forcing her to soak in cold water daily to avoid being consumed. Zhenwu half teases that she left before finishing her bath, so the fire nearly devoured her. Blushing, she calls him a lecher for peeking. He scratches his head seeking peace since he saved her. He casually pinches her cheek, surprised by its softness. Zhenwu marvels it's softer than she claims. She erupts in fury at being touched. He guesses he absorbed part of her flame. Thus feeling no heat, she forbids any future physical contact. He bluntly says her rough temper scares people off. She boasts many academy hairs chase her only he looks down on her. He eagerly suggests befriending each other since they are both heading to the academy. She warns the entrance trial is harsh and clever tricks won't suffice. She targets his weakness, asking about his lack of a beast contract. Worried, he admits he has no spirit beast and must find another path. She offers rare spirit stones in courtesy. He instantly recognizes their value. She explains their uses and advises him to hunt a beast before enrollment. He agrees and begins refining the gift as Kai surges. Complete ritual talisman bow forms after crafting. He praises the subtle control arts hidden in seemingly plain materials. A shadow streaks behind them, making her recoil in alarm. He confirms it's a spirit beast and gets excited at the rare chance. She panics, insisting his current level can't handle it. He calmly says the beast's injuries may shift the odds. Fresh blood dots the ground. He concludes the wounds are severe. She praises his observation. The beast emits blinding lightning rays. Its eyes crackle with threatening electricity. Its foreleg bears a deep gash bleeding nonstop. He judges it a lightning-type spirit beast suited to him. She's shocked at his luck. He steps forward to face it while she warns it intends to flee, but he reassures her with steady confidence. A vortex force slams toward the lightning beast. He shows confidence. Having seized control of the situation, inner key spirals in his palm. A whirlpool barrier of spirit flow forms, blocking the small beast. She secretly admires the seamless technique. Suspecting he hides deeper arts, an angry shout demands the beast back. He questions the stranger. She explains it's a spirit killer sect that steals cultivation. The man flaunts being an elder's son and claims he has hunted the beast for 7 days. He spits venomous curses. She withdraws from the quarrel, worried since his cultivation is superior. Zhenwu mocks the group as filthy dark practitioners. The man hurls a blazing palm strike, his aura shaking the field. Zhenwu slips aside lightly like a cool breeze, avoiding the fire claw. The man channels power into his fingertip, glowing as he prepares the next move. A streak of fire cuts across Zhenwu's body at wind-tearing speed. Massive fire pillars crash down, exploding the ground. The man brags his technique traps lightning into a formation that dismantles foes. They're locked inside a bright lightning ring, shocking everyone. She lashes her whip to break it, but the diluted power fails and he mocks her futility. He spits more vicious insults. Walls of fire rise, radiating suffocating heat around them. She shouts in fury, killing intent erupting. Zhenwu strolls calmly through the flames, telling her not to stir trouble so he can restrain the blaze. She's stunned by how the fire circles him against cultivation logic. He releases surging Kai, reminding her of the earlier lightning seal. The restraining rings warp and burst away from him. The man laughs wildly, sure his move will shatter Zhenwu's arm, but as the force nears, he pales, sensing unimaginable power. A metal charge punch ruptures the air. He takes the blow full force and is slammed into the ground. His body flies and snaps a large tree in half. Zhenwu rubs his fist, pleased with its power. She admires yet doubts, wondering why he suffers no pill side effects. The man trembles, shouting threats based on his status. Zhenwu twists his cheek, making him scream. He lays out 3 blunt points, forcing the man to admit fault and beg to trade service for his life. Zhenwu agrees but warns the price won't be cheap. The man turns a shin, sensing great loss ahead. Zhenwu strips him of all belongings, leaving him exposed. He examines each trophy and mocks him as a thief with toxic tastes. He explains each item's function, earning her deeper respect for his knowledge. The man's eyes flicker with a vile revenge plan. He secretly draws a hidden weapon to strike back while restrained. He blows a poison needle with horrifying corrosive effects. The needle speeds toward Zhenwu with chilling killing intent. Zhenwu turns casually, a token deflects it and rebounds along a perfect arc. He blinks, baffled by the sudden ricochet. The needle embeds straight into the attacker's butt. He trembles and sweats in panic. His agonized scream echoes through the forest. He staggers away, cursing while fleeing. Zhenwu only sighs, knowing he has his own antidote. Zhenwu gathers the spoils and returns to the main issue. She asks about the spirit beast contract. He proudly shows the spirit storage talisman like a treasure. 3 hours later, they reach Kaishi Mountain, where she says the academy stands. He marvels at its superb feng shui. Crowds of cultivators pack the mountainside, creating a lively scene. An arrogant man blocks them, saying beastless people should stay out of sight. He boasts the academy only accepts Phoenix Dragon talents and rejects mediocrity. Zhenwu asks if this is the first trial. She confirms it's a filter for the unqualified. He slyly proposes a bet. She refuses and rejects being called senior sister. Emboldened, he says she must date him if he passes. He explains it's to ease her trouble with admirers. She's startled yet impressed by his nerve, about to reveal her status when he interrupts curiously. She lets it go and accepts the wager. Sure he can't succeed, he steps up to register loudly, radiating confidence. The man grows furious after overhearing Zhenwu courting her despite lacking a beast. He commands his Kanglang wolf to attack. She quickly warns him not to strike to kill. Zhenwu simply wonders why he's being provoked when he only wants to register. He chants a beast summoning spell, his voice resonant. The opponent's beast erupts in lightning, shaking heaven and earth. His spirit lynx charges under ruthless lightning force. Lightning rends the air, blood sprays, leaving the opponent stunned. The man panics, accusing him of demonic arts and demanding his arrest. Someone in the crowd becomes intrigued, recognizing a grandmaster-level technique. Clouds cloak the mountain, adding solemn majesty. The opponent's Kang Lang collapses dead on the stone ground. The man slaps himself in despair and falls into his junior's arms. Zhenwu summons his lightning lynx, displaying the contract as sparks dance around his hand. She is utterly shocked, and the crowd buzzes, guessing the beast's lineage. The man grits his teeth, asking why he's humiliated for losing a beast. Zhenwu mocks that contract beasts rarely die, only suffer heavy wounds. Enraged, the man orders his junior to kill Zhenwu, but their legs freeze solid instantly. Panicking everyone, they scream as ice traps their feet. A master appears, scolding them for bullying after losing. Zhenwu deduces the ice art isn't from a visible beast, likely an invisible support beast. The man roars for justice, claiming his beast was sliced apart. Su Nian coldly silences him, calling him a fool unaware of his limits. The junior supports him while Su Nian introduces himself as deputy youth instructor. Zhenwu politely asks to continue up the mountain now that has proven he has a beast. The instructor suspects an illusion beast and blocks him, summoning a real ice fox. Zhenwu grows uneasy since his lightning lynx is only a projection and no match. Su Nian chants, driving surging ice power into his beast. A majestic snow fox appears, guarding before him. Ice pillars shoot toward Zhenwu, forcing him to roll aside. She's shocked he can conjure massive ice in such dryness. Guessing his nearing breakthrough, Zhenwu calls the fight, determined despite the freezing domain. Lightning tears through the air toward the ice fox. Su Nian seeks to finish him personally and strikes hard, but sudden snowfall halts him, the strange chill stunning him. The crowd gasps as is frozen mid-move. Zhenwu is baffled by the sudden weather shift. High above, a figure waves a fan, sending snow over the mountainside. Zhenwu groans that another powerhouse is interfering again. Cultivators recognize Kisanji, the ice general famed at the academy, and fall silent in awe. He asks if Zhenwu came to enroll. Zhenwu answers firmly yes. He immediately invites him as a personal disciple. Sensing a familiar aura, the crowd murmurs in envy over such rare privilege. Ice shatters off Su Nian with cracking sounds. Kisangi asks for Su Nian's opinion. He grudgingly praises Zhenwu but secretly vows to report him to the noble council. Zhenwu cuts him off with a cold, firm tone. He refuses apprenticeship, unwilling to be forced. The crowd is stunned. He declines a dream offer. Kisanji calmly asks why he won't accept. Zhenwu fumbles for an excuse, then boldly claims Kisangi lacks the qualifications. He adds that no one in the world is worthy to be his master. Silence falls at the arrogant claim. She blushes in embarrassment, knowing he risked disaster without a protector. Kisangi isn't angry, he smiles, saying hell gives Zhenwu reason to reconsider. He promises to open the Tianling cavern for him to choose a contract beast, shocking Su Nian. Zhenwu doesn't understand. She explains it's where rare beasts are kept and raised for generations. The assistant instructor whispers a warning, while Master Songyi calmly grants a coveted opportunity. Zhenwu weighs the benefits and decides early beast selection is worth relying on the master. Before he can reply, the master drags him away, leaving Long stunned at his sudden luck. She reminds him about the disciple ritual, and the master teases her for staying silent. Su Nian seethes, blaming the master for breaking rules and secretly vowing revenge. The exam horn sounds. Disciples groan over crowds and tedious procedures. Songyi announces exam exemption for his personal disciples, silencing all objections. Zhenwu marvels at the scale of the continent's top academy. Longha politely excuses herself for personal matters. He cheekily reminds her of their wager. The master laughs. Amused, Zhenwu can tease a notorious Hothid and remain unharmed. As Zhenwu asks why he was taken to the master, vaguely says he resembles an old friend and leads him to the dorms. Zhenwu becomes suspicious, wondering if the master has odd tastes. Night falls, and the master dreams of a suffocating, dreadful atmosphere. Enemies in the dream force him to submit, threatening death if he refuses to join them. He staunchly refuses, accusing them of betrayal, murder, and theft. Vowing to stop them, they unleash deadly techniques, their power shaking heaven and earth, declaring a bloody path. The nightmare jolts him awake in the silent night. Cold sweat pours as tragic memories flood in, disrupting his breath despite the icy room. His 6 comrades vanished, only he survived by fate. Haunted by whether they or the true gods still have hope of revival. A soft knock breaks the stillness. A disciple calls for him. He answers briefly, maintaining stern composure. Jeremiah enters proudly, excited about news of a new disciple. She's curious if the newcomer is worthy to be her junior. She brings fragrant tea from her father, insisting he accept it. He accepts, then asks about her investigation, which found no suspicious spirit aura matching his description. He ponders, guessing the group's aura may have dispersed into the world. She suddenly recalls a pale white spirit item vaguely similar to his sketch. He urgently asks where. She admits gifting it to an ice-ape cultivator and says its shape's varied, unlikely matching his needs. He dismisses the possibility, saying it can't be related. He tells her to rest and bring him to see the junior tomorrow. But she objects, demanding the newcomer greet her first. Jealous, she remembers being rejected initially, while he gets favored treatment. She finally softens, asking the master to relay a message to her junior tomorrow. Zhenwu leaves a pizza shop delighted after a great meal. With its aroma lingering, he praises the dish as famed across the continent while walking through the bustling academy. Suddenly, he spots a cloaked figure sneaking over a wall in the moonlight. The figure crouches on a roof, observing with extreme caution. A mocking voice accuses them of being a thief inside the academy. She retaliates with 3 razor-sharp hidden weapons whistling through the air. Zhenwu blocks all with 5 punches, dissolving the strikes easily. The weapons stop against his ki, unable to pierce. He accelerates, chasing the cloaked figure across the rooftops. His hand grabs the person's robe, holding tight. The fabric tears, revealing the true face under dim light. He silently notes his surprise. Their appearance is unexpectedly attractive. The girl triggered the formation underfoot, paling as she sensed looming doom. The array condensed into blood-hued, violent spiritual fluctuations. Songju detected the disturbance at once, his spirit sense finding an intruder. Zhenwu was stunned to see such a vicious array appear inside the academy. It was a brutal trap that restrained and then incinerated its victim. He rushed in before the killing aura struck, scooping her into his arms. Landing safely, he exhaled in relief that she was merely unconscious. Distant patrol voices shouted an alert about the activated array. They guessed the intruder had been rescued by an accomplice. They ordered a lockdown and search, believing the target still nearby. Footsteps and calls echoed through every alley. One suspected the two fugitives had vanished or hidden somewhere tight. Some traces by a woodpile made the patrol tense and ready to strike. Zhenwu hid behind a wall, heart pounding at the risk of exposure. He instinctively held the girl closer, hand landing on a sensitive spot. The softness made his face flush with embarrassment. The girl woke, panicking to find herself in a stranger's arms. She whipped around seeking the culprit, eyes blazing with killing intent. He covered her mouth, warning obedience to survive. She nodded weakly. Zhenwu plotted a tactic. Deciding to troll the searchers, he used bone-softening art, his form blurring like a ghost shade. She watched in horrified curiosity. Unable to guess his origin, the disciples panicked, calling for their missing comrade. They blocked the path, scolding, while he pretended to call his girlfriend. One immediately ordered his capture. A crash of falling wood sounded from a corner. Renmei stepped out shyly, acting as though she were the one sought. He rushed over, continuing the act, lamenting her torn clothes. She lied that she fled him. Then a shadow attacked and knocked her out. He draped his robe over her, saying it'd take her to a master to check injuries. Zifan grew suspicious, questioning both their identities. Zhenwu instantly reported his direct lineage, invoking Songju's authority. The disciples panicked, recalling rumors of the master's new disciple. Suspecting him, he stated his name clearly. One whispered they looked like lovers and feared offending Master Je's people. He pressed them, threatening to call the teacher. Zifan flipped his attitude, apologized, and invited them to leave. He calmly led her away, smiling at their sense of propriety. Behind them, Zifan secretly plotted to report their entry into the Forbidden Zone. Once safe, Renmei suspiciously asked if he knew that area was trapped for the Academy's secrets. Her face darkened, coldness filling her gaze. A dagger flashed in her hand as he naively asked what secret. While he stood turned, unguarded, she suddenly lunged to stab him from behind. Seven-color Empress auto-defended, blocking the lethal strike with ease. Renmei was flung back hard, hitting the ground with a crack. He lamented being betrayed right after saving her. She snarled for vengeance, vowing to kill him to erase her shame. He gave a wry smile, noting she was full of negative energy. Next day he pondered last night and wanted to thank Ji Mayan for Seven-color Empress saving him twice. Teacher Songju called from behind. He answered casually that he went to eat, wandered, and got lost. The teacher sternly warned him not to roam. As the academy was full of dangers, he handed over a letter, and the boy asked curiously about its contents. The teacher said it was from his shiji, containing a map and a meeting request, making him doubt because it required climbing far into the mountains. Songju added she wrote only 4 words: be careful, stay safe. He felt uneasy, sensing trouble ahead. Next morning at the perilous rendezvous, he suspected a shiji's scheme and called her out. He raised his voice loudly. The echo rumbled across the mountainside. The cave beneath him trembled lightly. Pairs of red eyes appeared. Beast poured out of the cave. Zimayan hid behind a tree, gloating that to be her shidi he had to pass a trial in the Silverfur territory. These creatures were early real spirit master level, enough to intimidate but not kill. Hearing something off, she was stunned by how loud his voice had been. The Silverfur beasts charged together. Zhenwu panicked at the danger. He understood Shiji wanted him to test his combat. He apologized to the beasts before fighting, intending to settle things after. His eyes flashed with foreseemage, throwing the beast into a trance. Zimayan happily gathered spirit stones, thinking she'd found treasure with valuable blood crystals. Suddenly a violent tremor made her shiver. She cried out that danger was coming. A pack of golden fur beasts surged in, discharging lightning, equal to 30 segment spirit masters. Meanwhile, Zhenwu had already cleared the Silverfur pack with ease. Both curled their lips in confidence at Luoline Art's effectiveness. He decided to settle accounts with his test-loving Shiji. A distant scream echoed. Zimian ran for her life, shouting for Shidi to flee. She was shocked to see him unharmed, and the Silverfur beasts down a familiar figure appeared, making her freeze. The group all recognized him at once. He greeted them cheerfully, remarking how small the world was. Zimayan urged him to skip chatter. A giant golden fur beast stood opposite them, its killing aura overwhelming. He lamented Shiji's cruelty for dragging golden fur beasts into the trial. He seriously shielded her, telling her to stay behind him though he knew the power gap was huge. The golden fur beast lifted a massive boulder like a toy. Rocks were hurled repeatedly, explosions shaking the mountain. His eyes steeled as he prepared to fight. He carried Zimian away from danger, placing her somewhere safe. The two watched tensely as the beast's strength exceeded human norms. Suddenly both slipped and fell down a cliff, winds howling. He caught Zimian's hand in the desperate moment. They plunged into a torrent below. She sank unconscious, unresponsive. He kept hold of her hand tightly. He pulled her up, telling her to cling on, and the violent current swept into a dark water tunnel. They spun chaotically, Reaching the bank, he supported her safely and sighed in relief. She fumed to tears as all her trial preparations became pointless. When she calmed, he asked where they had ended up. She was shocked they had drifted into Heaven Spirit Grotto, whose waterways connected here. He was excited since his master had mentioned it. She warned it was a restricted core zone not to enter casually. He suggested following the waterway to find an exit. Then he eagerly proposed picking a spirit beast as his master advised. She shot it down. Fearing the beasts here were all raw rank 5 segment or higher, very hard to capture, he asked in surprise about ranks, startling her that he still didn't know the system. She explained the Heaven-Earth Mystic Royal system, 9 segments each, plus 10 attributes and their counterrelations. He observed the beast before them to gauge its rank. Mayan turned pale. It was an ice-cold giant python. Royal rank 6 segment. She immediately ran off to report it. Guy admitted failure in her mission before her superior. Asking for punishment, the master coldly warned her and granted one last chance to redeem herself. Ren Mei respectfully accepted the order that Zhenwu needed a strong spirit beast and that Heaven Spirit Grotto was the perfect target to scout first. She replied yes and prepared to act. She still worried inside because this place was the Academy's forbidden sanctum. Zhenwu struggled to dodge the giant python's blows amid heavy impacts. Power burst as he channeled Kai into a counterpunch. Before the massive body, he looked tiny like a lone spark. Mayan fumed that for just Royal 6 segment its armor was absurdly tough. He thought the domain's array made it unusually strong. He assigned himself to lure it while Shiji struck when able. She vowed to protect her Shidi at all costs. She cast Butterfly Art, detonating spiritual butterfly blasts. The python's blood flow stalled for a moment. Illusory wings flared, driving her attack, but its scales didn't budge, leaving her disappointed. The serpent opened its maw and fired ice crystals with terrifying force. Zhenwu realized attacks were useless against its armor and he needed to seal its Kwai first. He used corpses of doing spirit formula. Phantom chains appearing with killing intent. Mayan gaped, baffled by this secret art. He focused, spiritual power surging as he prepared a decisive strike. The chain sliced the python clean in half. Frozen blood burst. Mayan dodged the cold blast. He was surprised to see the beast freeze solid then collapse. Defeated spirit beasts in the grotto auto-crystallized. He suddenly noticed something strange in the corpse. A small beast rolled out, trembling. Mayan examined it. He studied it and recognized traits of the legendary mountain river Pixiu. He recalled how Pixiu devoured demon arms for the divine realm. Now appearing in a juvenile form, a shout boomed, demanding who dared intrude into Heaven Spirit Grotto. 3 members of the noble society appeared, glaring at him with hostility. He sighed that the world was indeed small, making Mayan suspect prior clashes. Hamu raged, threatening to kill him, saying he wouldn't escape this time. He accused him of full tricks that left lingering poison when Li declared it'd handle him. Mayan muttered that they were domineering aristocrats. He was surprised the noble society dared stand equal to the Zhenkun society. One questioned his name and rank. Mayan stood akimbo to defend him, scolding Wanli to open his eyes. The boy could only grin awkwardly. Wanli doubted him because Sunayan said the new recruit was weak, so it was him. The small spirit beast poked out, prompting Mayan to snap at them to be quiet. She even threatened that calling her master's name outright was courting death. The beast tried to flee, but she caught it. Wanli stalked to block their path. Hamu scoffed the spirit beast was nothing special. Ignorant of its worth, Zhenwu pricked his finger to begin the ritual. Holding the small beast, he gently said, "Come, form a pact with me." Mayan reeled. He meant to choose this Pixiu cub as his spirit beast. Did he grasp the weight of that choice? The two mocked him, bragging and belittling his choice as Lodier. Blood seeped into the beast's light aura. He accepted it, channeling force to lock the blood. Praising the mountain river Pixiu packed array, Sen, the beast packed adept, swallowed anger, muttering curses while flaunting his contract knowledge. A Fireelement hunter of royal rank 7 segment appeared. Fire force blasted straight into the battleground. The explosion rattled their insides. Hamu exulted, unleashing a poisonous strike and flaunting his pressure, thinking the boy wouldn't live long. He calmly set his stance, flared fire, and berated the foe as mediocre. The Pixiu cub shrank back in fear. The enemy panicked and hastily summoned Water Kai for a shield. Zhenwu gathered Kia, following a true fight unlike before. Water sent twined with fire as the foe dodged in a flash. Onlookers murmured about a 7th rank killing move. Wanli ordered them all slain. Roaring in fury, she cursed the noble's filth, daring to bully with numbers. Zhenwu said to leave them be. Handling a surprise counterattack himself, he felt a flicker of fear as death loomed close. The Pixiu was slammed down, flames bursting like a storm. It froze in stunned terror. He stood shielding it, refusing to let his little friend be harmed. A flock of birds swarmed in to cover them. Mayan screamed in panic. Hamu laughed viciously, certain the victim was burned to ash. In the fire, Zhenwu used mind force to hold the Pixiu safely. Outsiders were shocked, saying he survived thanks to his barrier, proving the little beast was extremely powerful. She panted, asking her master who this boy really was. The enemies exploited the chaos to snatch the beast. The Pixiu spat fire. Flames nearly incinerated the attacker. They all panicked, thinking it was a Mysticrank spirit beast. Zhenwu shouted out a new technique. Wanli barked that he would teach this insolent brat. Zhenwu mocked him. Mayan warned not to underestimate a level 25. Energy blasted straight at him. Zhenwu sneered, saying whoever had more guts would still be standing. Siyu gathered force. The attack spiraled straight at the enemy. One Li boosted had crushed him. Zhen Wu flooded his aura red. Zimayan worried how could a level 15 match them. He rejoiced the Pixia support was like a treasure, even stronger now. It still felt unreal. The two foes combined, hurling a torrent of fire force. Zimayan's hand cast glowing butterflies. She raised a giant shield array over them. The shield swelled as she roared in anger at being ganged up on. The ground split open with cracking booms. The two enemies paled, recognizing the telltale sign. A massive explosion tore the center apart. The three were flung away, smoke covering everything. Hamu still believed had won and yelled out. He guessed the enemy had been buried dead in the limestone cave. Seeing the widening fissure, everyone froze in terror. All four ran for their lives. Zimayan cuffed and called. He joked his ears were going deaf. She fumed. He said surviving was a blessing already. Zhen Wu probed the depth. Over 30 zhang of rock above escaping would require level 25 strength. Maybe a year's cultivation. The white pixie landed on his shoulder, chirping as if scolding him for thinking it cowardly. Having acknowledged its master, it was likely moved by his rescue. His blood merged with mind force into the little beast. Light spiraled into a warm contract seal on his hand. He rejoiced, thinking their combined power would be incredible. Zimayan fretted as he stayed seated, energy surging too violently. Ancient spirit ki gathered around them like divine wind. She froze, seeing both Pixiu and Zhen Wu rising in power together, suspecting he caused it. Wanlai escaped the debris cloud and met someone waiting. The Vice-Dean urgently asked the cause of the grotto chaos. He claimed two disciples secretly hunted beasts, collapsed the mountain, and were likely dead. The dean frowned, ordering verification. Hearing they were Songju's disciples, he pulled people along to investigate. The man cursed Songju for always embarrassing him. Thinking now it was his turn, Songju was meditating in seclusion. He sensed energy at the door and let them in. Long he entered asking about Sipiao's whereabouts. Songju frowned, recalling she was a Wulin camp guard, junior disciple, and Vermilion squad captain. She reported that last night she investigated and saw a woman with a talisman matching Sipiao. He explained Wulin camp was the academy's elite security force. He noted it was a minor secret but nothing to hide. Long he grew nervous, fearing he'd deduce her identity. Songju said Sipiao had followed Shiji outside. He knew no more. Outside, the Vice-Dean called, demanding he take responsibility. People scolded him for calmly drinking tea amid the chaos. He calmly asked what matter concerned the Vice-Dean. The man angrily demanded the whereabouts of two disciples. Songju wondered why everyone kept searching for Cipia. Her reputation had become too big. Long he asked Senior Jiang, who said had just met them. The man sneered they had caused havoc in the grotto and were surely crushed under the rocks. Songju froze, and Longhe was stunned. Kaiwu scolded him for letting his disciples run wild and cause disaster. Longhe fell silent, fearing they had died. Songju barked at the guards, demanding how they let them into the grotto. The Vice-Dean said their status was high. Others avoided them, making intervention hard. Wanla's group shouted to expel the teacher, demanding compensation for the collapse and answers. Outsiders spread rumors the cave collapsed because of Songju's close disciples. Longhe ordered the crowd controlled and the teacher protected until the dean arrived. A resonant rumble echoed out. People sensed two rising auras approaching. It was the Pixiu and Zhen Wu. Roaring, they appeared with overwhelming presence. Zimayan teased him for walking like a big shot. Zhen Wu laughed, hugging the little beast. Wanli was stunned seeing him intact, unsure if he was man or ghost. Kaiwu turned pale. He thought they were crushed, yet they were unscathed. Songju instantly recognized he had jumped to level 25 in half a day, thanks to the Mountain River Pixiu Pact. Zimian mocked Senior Jiang, asking why he feared ghosts in broad daylight. He panicked and framed them for destroying the cavern. Zhen Wu coldly accused him of colluding with Zhenqun Society to blow up the grotto and silence witnesses. Wanli panicked, denying wildly, then slipped and confessed to the beast dispute. He covered his mouth. Too late. Murmurs spread as people grasped the truth. Zhen Wu pressed with evidence, calling him stupid for self-incrimination. Everyone was shocked, speechless. Kaiwu turned to interrogate him. Wanli erupted with killing intent, threatening to silence them. He gathered force and struck, yelling head Tcpa. The palm blast surged in. Longa shouted to forbid the attack. She ordered guards to protect the witness, fearing the blow could kill a lower rank. Zhen Wu stood blocking it, his arm rooted like a mountain. Songju and Kaiwu were astonished at his strength. He grabbed the man's wrist, voice cold, scolding him for trying to kill to cover up. One punch from Zhen Wu sent him flying. He crashed, gravely injured and vomiting blood. Songju calmly said to hand him to the Vermilion Guard, thinking his own secrets were many. Long he ordered the arrest and praised Zhen Wu's swift rise to level 25. She said to take him away, then returned to question about last night. Songju invited the Vice-Dean for tea. The man declined in embarrassment. Zhen Wu sighed Ji Mian warned him to mind their master's expression. The master looked at the two disciples as if ready to settle accounts. Inside, he served tea. Zimian bowed apologetically, promising no more trouble. He nearly choked. He stared sternly at both. He asked if they knew how great the damage was, then casually asked if Cpia had any promises with her. She said they'd just known each other before. He smiled stiffly, almost misspeaking. She covered his mouth to stop him. Songju asked why she pouted, saying he seemed too nosy. Zhen Wu laughed, thinking she was fierce in battle but sweet now. He saw how close they were and felt unnecessary. Just then someone requested entry. Brother Leng greeted them. Seeking Cipiao, Zhen Wu happily recognized him. He said he wouldn't intrude and would search later. Zhen Wu replied politely and excused himself to meet the master. Zhen Wu threw an arm around Kai Leng, inviting him to talk after a big meal. The group stopped at their usual pizza shop, with dishes spread out. Kai Leng praised his skill. Zhen Wu modestly wished he could sink into the ground to avoid attention. He asked who taught in the Rebirth by Finitith art. Zhen Wu said he used to work clean up at the royal courtyard and once read a strange book. Kai Leng doubted it, because that place shouldn't allow random reading. Kai Leng suspected the attacker belonged to the real Spirit Master Academy. Over at the Noble Society, Tension was taught as wire, Wanli was cursed for incompetence. President Tan Wu Lying scolded them for disgracing the group. Hamu raged to kill Cipiao, saying she was tied to an imperial princess. Wanli said she'd be hard to find among thousands of disciples. And Songju blocked access to records. They fretted, unsure how to proceed. One member proposed a sinister plan. Tan Wuliang is delighted, saying he feels lighter after settling matters. He vows to destroy the master-disciple pair of Shuang Yai. Zhen Wu senses rising unease. Kai Leng asked, and he jokes someone must be bad-mouthing him. He explains where he found the spellcraft book. Zhen Wu is stunned that the academy wing was abandoned. He explains it was due to a series of strange events half a year ago. The boy brightens. Eager for drama, he lowers his voice. The boy urges him to tell the details. He opens an old room thick with cobwebs. He says over a dozen disciples vanished within half a month, leaving no clues. The spellcraft book lay there. The boy spots a formation carved into dragon bone. He deduces the place was rebuilt to devour people. The culprit even dared touch the academy. A shadow flashes past the window. Zhen Wu whirls around and shouts. A figure jumps the wall to flee. The boy orders a split pursuit. Capture alive. Zhen Wu reaches out and seizes a girl, holding her firm. Seeing her face, his shock, she gasps in panic. She knocks his hand from her neck. She runs. He calls after her, suspecting she was spying. She stammers angrily. She says she's an academy disciple who just passed by. Unlucky that a charm seal activated. He notices a dangerous mark on her hair. He warns her to stay back. The charm erupts, sending her into chaos. He must stabilize it. Healing Ki vents out, and he realizes it's an ancient dark curse. After treatment, she improves. He presses her. Ordinary disciples don't bear death seals. What is her identity? She stays silent, not reporting to the academy, then confesses her master ordered her to spy and search for a secret path in Qinling Cave. Owing him her life, she pledges to repay fully. He guesses her backer may be from the Zhenjian Hui and sees she's been brainwashed. She scoffs, saying the Zhenjian Hui is nothing worth noting. She says Zhang Wu of the Six Halls assassins is the truly frightening one. She is merely someone raised by the Gong Lord and sent on missions. He rebuts that being raised without recognition and branded with a seal treats her as a tool. She denies it at once. Zhen Wu realizes she is loyal to the Gong Lord, hence her disguise as a man. He warns the seal carries heart-corroding poison and is hard to cure. Leaving to Renmai speechless, she walks off, saying she needs no meddling from him. He calls after her, at least asking for her name. She answers curtly to Renmei. He introduces himself as Cipiao, saying if the seal seeks him out he will help, and asks Zhang Wu for assistance. She doubts him, saying has no god. He concludes she's a new student, not the one who set the formation. The Zhenjian Hui already abducted someone to impersonate the young master. Kai Leng runs up asking what he saw. He lies it was a stray cat. They try a new shrimp-tailed dish and head back to the academy. Sunlight slants across the wide courtyard. Shuangyi warns them not to run about and to focus on cultivation, especially Sepia, who has stirred trouble right after joining. He agrees, but inwardly worries about how to investigate the young master. Qianling Cave now shows no suspects. Someone reports the precept's elder has summoned Cipiao. He suspects trouble is starting. Jimine fears he'll be punished. They enter the main hall of the precept's court. The preceptor accuses Shuang Yai of breaking rules by letting a disciple form an unauthorized beast pact. He replies Cipiao's talent is exceptional and pacts need not follow rigid norms. Tan Wulian cuts in, calling it excuses and demanding why the boy is favored. Zhenwu quietly asks Jimian about his identity. He answers the man is head of the aristocrat society. He declares an investigation into Cipiao's background, presenting evidence of kinship. He accuses Shuang Yai of favoritism and breaking the law. Cipiao rejects the baseless claim of familial ties. Zhenwu realizes the aristocrat society forged evidence, and disciples murmur, half believing. Wuliang adds a charge that he entered a forbidden zone. With guards confirming it, he asks who the girl was. Cipiao says they just met and asks to keep her face covered. Wuliang fumes, saying no one believes that excuse. The chair rules both broke the law, giving 10 days penalty and later referral for expulsion. Zhen Wu stays calm and is mocked for lacking strength. He offers a way to prove his innocence through open confrontation. He challenges Kun Wuliang. Kun is stunned. He sneers that winning would expose all charges as slander. Zimine sighs outsiders think is crazy. He keeps provoking, demanding Kun accept. Back at the noble hall, Wuliang summons his underlings. He laughs at the reckless stunt. He mocks him as stupid and oblivious to his limits. Baoxuan says he's buying time, warning Wan Li and suspecting a plot in 3 days. He laughs coldly. Plots are welcome. Hell show the power gap makes all tricks useless. Back in the room, Zimayan scolds him for being reckless. He calmly eats pizza. He praises the pizza as she yells that a 5-level versus level 30 gap is suicide. Zhenwu teases her, saying she's worried because she likes him. She blushes and denies it. Shuangya warns that Qin Wuliang and his wyvern have lethal aura. He reassures her, saying he has his reasons, then goes out, far off. He thinks he must expose their cover-ups and seize the chance. If the noble hall uses forbidden arts, the duel will test Qin Wuliang. History shows drugs can boost combat power. He picks herbs like Long Shan, Li Li, and Yun Yu. After eating, he feels his force rising fast and is pleased. Wandering, he finds the Curich area is a herb garden. Unsure of the owner, he takes herbs now, planning to repay later. A gentle old voice asks if he's picking herbs. He startles, sensing no approach. The old man smiles, saying he's just the gardener, take what he wants. He bows and thanks, promising pills later. The man asks if he can refine, and he modestly says a little. The man studies him, shocked he recognized rare herbs. He asks to leave and conveys his thanks. He runs off, delighted by the rich stock. The old man laments he plucked a rare 3-leg ginseng. Disciple says the supervisor is due to teach. He puts on his hat. His gentle air shifts to authority as he departs. Back at the academy, he meets Kai Lang and Long. He worried about the duel. Long, he says, is mad and should flee before it's too late. He opens his room door. He says firmly he understands the situation best. The door shuts, leaving them shouting outside. He focuses on the first pill formula. Renmei appears, saying he need protect her by fighting Qin Wuliang. He frowns toward the voice. She urges him to reveal her so they'll spare him. Zhenwu grumbles that no one believes him. 3 days later, the arena buzzes. Qin Wuliang will win. Zipiao is doomed. Zimayan panics since his missing that morning. The headmaster watches from above, curious what chaos the freshman will stir. Wuliang lounges, waiting to hear he fled, only rushes to declare he ran. Zhenwu descends from above, denying he fled. He lands firmly, stating he's arrived. The headmaster is shocked the recent troublemaker is him. Wuliang threatens that is courting death. He says Zhenwu used drugs to boost power. He mocks that it's useless. Zhenwu sneers that he lost sleep watching. Wuliang panics and denies it. He charges an attack. He warns Zhenwu will soon weep dry. The life-and-death duel begins. Wuliang unleashes his first killing move. True Ki condenses into a beast head charging in. Zhenwu smiles as if prepared. He gathers Kai into his hand. He punches straight into the technique. A boom echoes across the arena. Zimayan cheers. He broke a kill skill barehanded. Shuangyai doubts such rapid power growth. She thinks only high-grade alchemy could raise it so fast. Wuliang roars, asking what he drank. He tells him to unleash everything. He senses things turning bad. He summons a royal rank Deathwing Wyvern. Kai Lang panics. Long, he fears for him. The Wyvern forms a massive fireball. Disciples scatter in chaos below. Wuliang triumphantly orders it to burn him. The Pixie opens its maw and swallows all flame. Zhenwu stands safe, mocking that Qin isn't the only one with a pack beast. Wuliang freezes as the fire vanishes. Zhenwu orders the Pixie to spit the flames back. The blast flings Qin Wuliang hard. With Wanlei rushing to catch him, he screams threats to kill Zhenwu amid the chaos. Wanlei gathers men to gang up. Zhenwu's friends block, saying if it's a gang fight, they'll go all out too. Eager to vent, he arrogantly threatens to bury the entire opposing group. He signals his forces to charge. Zipiao and teammates enter combat mode instantly. Long, he opens with a kick, dropping an enemy. The opposing side unleashes relentless fist arts. A girl scoffs at their strength and escorts Mei Lo out of danger. The speed of battle makes it hard for outsiders to track. Wanlei fumes as his men fall one by one. He rages hell, burn all enemies clean. He strikes from above with surging heat. Zimayan pivots into a firm guard stance. She shields her team so they can keep fighting. The two forces clash evenly, forming a stalemate. Wanlei can't believe his prized move was neutralized by a girl. He roars for allies to attack, thinking she'll soon exhaust. Zhenwu appears behind him and warns him. He blasts a palm strike from behind, shaking the aura. Hit from behind, he falls with no time to block. He grumbles it breaks Zhenwu's earlier claim. Zhenwu silently pours on more strikes. He boasts he still hasn't used his supreme art. Zhenwu charges but is checked by his technique. His clan's ultimate skill manifests, making Jimian sense danger as his Kwai hardens. Zhenwu still presses in with non-stop blows. He mocks Zhenwu's desperation and readies a finisher, but Zhenwu's strong palm shatters his defense. He staggers and spits blood violently. Wuliang is stunned. His ultimate was destroyed. His allies are shocked their key arts failed. Zhenwu is confident he learned to counter this art from a celestial master. Zipiao is shaken, recognizing a lost divine technique. She suspects Zipiao's identity links to the divine realm. He urges the foe to surrender due to severe internal damage. He screams refusal, citing his role as hall leader. He charges Zipiao but is easily dodged. Zhenwu whips around with a rapid counter. Wuliang can't block and is heavily defeated. The announcement confirms Zhenwu's victory as Wuliang collapses. The headmaster orders Wuliang detained for questioning, suspecting the dark force he used. Everyone congratulates Zhenwu, humbly credits the team. Someone notes his yellow robe matches a suspicious intruder in the forbidden hall. Stirring the crowd, Wu Liang hears this and instantly pays attention. Eyes flashing, he seizes the moment to falsely accuse Zipiao of colluding with outsiders infiltrating the forbidden hall. Zipiao freezes at the sudden charge. The crowd panics, then turns suspicious, demanding his arrest for investigation. A voice rises to calm them, urging against misunderstanding. Data confidently steps up to testify while others sneer. Kaiwu wonders who the young boy is. Looking closely, he realizes the newcomer's extraordinary status. Senza sees the boy no longer hides his identity, though Wanli remains irritated. Wanli shouts insults, dismissing the testimony. Data ignores him, praising Zipiao's skill and clan backing for studying here. Zimine asks who the boy is. Zipiao also wonders. The crowd is confused at their odd exchange despite not knowing each other. Data calmly says he used to look down on Zipiao, so it's natural they aren't acquainted. He reveals they are distant maternal line cousins. Data affirms he can verify Zipiao isn't linked to Shuangya, since his task is only to supervise the duel. Wu Liang angrily doubts him, but he replies he truly is the referee. Wu Liang's crude words anger Data. Feeling insulted, Wu Liang flaunts his father as the richest tycoon on the continent. Data retorts arrogantly, asking if he knows whom he's speaking to. He presents a token revealing he is the crown prince of the Shangqin Empire. Shocking the crowd, Zhen Wu is stunned his relative is a crown prince. Zimayan laughs at the irony. Data explains Ren Mai is merely a maid assigned to attend Zipiao. Clearing the misunderstanding, Wu Liang rages forward but Wanli urges him to accept defeat. He still attacks Data, yelling he's an imposter. Data falters briefly. Startled and afraid, Zhen Wu realizes Wu Liang intends to silence him and shouts a warning. A commanding shout binds Wu Liang. Stopping him, the headmaster confirms Data's prince status and convicts Wu Liang of cultivating demonic arts. Ordering immediate detention, Zipiao is shocked that the gardener was the headmaster. Wu Liang struggles, citing rank and family to beg release. He is dragged off in despair. Ha Mu is disappointed in his uselessness. Bao Xuan notes the chaos let them acquire their target item, making his allies laugh. Elsewhere, a covert group orders Wu Liang's elimination for knowing too much. Data excitedly invites everyone to eat and offers to cover the whole feast. Zipiao happily agrees and brings everyone along. Seeing Zhen Wu favored, Data feels he lost out by helping too much. Hearing his name, Zipiao turns to answer. Shuangyi approaches, and Zhen Wu invites him to join. He sternly says Zhen Wu must answer one question truthfully. Shuangyi asks directly if he is from the divine realm. Zhen Wu freezes, conflicted and unsure how to reply. At the restaurant, staff bustle to welcome guests. The group enjoys pizza, amazed by the soft, fragrant cheese. Zimine asks about the earlier tense exchange, both recalling their probing. She deduces the quay-breaking move as mirror-hardened dispersal, suspecting his master is from the divine realm. Both sides stay wary, making the air heavy. Uncle Seven intervenes, dragging the group to ease tensions. Zhen Wu agrees. Shuangyi blames his rashness, fearing it might draw celestial attention, especially if Zipiao is indeed their target. Zhen Wu is uneasy, suspecting Shuangyi may link to his past assassination attempt. Both sides stay wary, hiding identities until they know the other's nature. Data pats his shoulder, calling cousin, pulling him from his thoughts. He curiously asks why Zipiao advanced so fast in just half a year. Everyone presses about the teacher who taught him alchemy to match Wu Liang. Zhen Wu panics, unsure how to answer convincingly. The group waits intently, making him more flustered. He suddenly looks toward the main door to distract them. At that moment, servers bring premium pizza. Zhen Wu seizes the chance to flee. Angering everyone, they shout after him because he even stole the best slice. He worries has revealed too much and must handle his real mission. Night settles over the town, moonlight covering rooftops. In the dark prison, Zhen Wu's beast enters Wu Liang's cell. Wu Liang kneels in fear as he sees him appear. The Pixiu spits a fireball, signaling its master's arrival. Zhen Wu steps out in the firelight, approaching the prisoner. He fearfully asks why he came. Zhen Wu coldly demands the source of his demonic art. Wu Liang mocks him for sneaking into prison just to ask nonsense. He cuts him off, naming the Zen Kanhai and their link to kidnappings. Wu Liang is terrified, not knowing how he learned so much so soon. Zhen Wu threatens to bury him with the secret if he lies. Panicking, he confesses he learned demonic arts in exchange for searching for the lost princess of the Shangqin Empire. He says they only follow orders from the arts instructor, whose motives he doesn't know. He has never seen the man's face, only that is called the Divine Envoy. A black-clad assassin suddenly appears and kills Wu Liang. Zhen Wu recoils at the lightning-fast strike. The shadow flees the scene instantly. He smashes the cell wall in fury at the blatant silencing. Seeing the stranger fleeing ahead, his aura surges. Zhen Wu charges after him, shouting for him to stop.